Hi, third graders. You're here for writing. Yay! I love writing. I know not all of you do, but hopefully we can have a little bit of fun with it this year. I know that you've probably heard of a couple different types of writing. You've probably heard of opinion, narrative, informational, maybe even a friendly letter. We're going to start off this year with a narrative story. I like to say story at the end to remind my brain that I am doing a story. And narrative stories are so cool because you can kind of make them different genres. So I'm sure you've heard Mrs. Underwood in our library talk about realistic fiction. So narratives are fiction, they're pretend stories. But if it's realistic, it's going to seem a lot like real life, like it could really happen. Maybe you're going to make yours more like that. Maybe yours will be more like a mystery. Ooh. Or maybe it'll just be so funny we can hardly stand it. It's a comedy. Or maybe it's more of an action flick, like, ooh, what's going to happen next? Whoa, there's ninjas. I don't know. You get to kind of decide, which is really cool. It's one of the reasons why I love writing, because you get to take your reader to somewhere that they maybe weren't thinking of. I wouldn't necessarily think to write about ninjas, but it would be cool to read about them. So what I've got today is I've got my pencil. You do need a pencil. And I'm also going to take my notebook, and we just need a piece of paper to organize. So I'm going to rip out one from the middle. It's okay to rip it out of the middle of your spiral. That's totally fine. I did it in the middle so that it wouldn't mess up any of the other parts. And I've got my paper here. If you have little pieces on the side that are like long and dangly, you could just grab them and throw them in the trash. Make sure they go in the trash. So here's my paper. We're going to start with a pre-write. A pre-write helps us organize our thoughts and ideas and make sure that we don't forget anything. I will tell you right now that every single student that I see that just automatically starts writing or typing usually forgets to do something or misses a step. So this is why we organize our thoughts first. It's an extra step in our writing process, but it makes us better writers. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to write or draw a giant rectangle. It doesn't have to be perfect. This looks like this. See, not perfect. It's okay. It's just to jot down our ideas. We need 5 little rectangles on the inside, 1 for an introduction, 3 for what's happening in the middle of our story, and 1 for a conclusion. This is just to jot down our ideas at the beginning. So I've got 1 up here. I've got 1 here. I'm kind of just drawing. Doesn't have to be perfect. There. So we've got my intro up here. And in my introduction, I do intro for short, that's where in a narrative story, we might have a hook to hook our reader, get them interested in our story. We will introduce maybe a character or two. Maybe another character will happen later in the story. But right now, maybe our main character will be introduced. And our setting, where it's taking place. Now, these 3 boxes here, I'm sure you've heard this in kindergarten, first and second. This is kind of your beginning, middle, that was a weird M, and end of your story that you're writing. We're going to expand it in 3rd grade and stuff more details in so that it's more exciting to read. And then this very end here is conclusion. And I like to call the conclusion a wrap it up. It's where we wrap everything up and just maybe the problem is solved. Maybe they all go have cake and tea and everybody lives happily ever after, something like that. Okay, so that's our conclusion. Now, you don't have to write all this on yours. I'll keep it on mine so that you can be reminded of what these different parts are. So today we're going to really work on just jotting down our ideas. Are you ready for our topic? Our first narrative story is going to be about a pet rock. It's a pet rock narrative. I'm so excited, you guys. And there's a really cool thing you get to do at the end. So today, I just want you to work on starting to jot down your ideas. I'm actually going to give you 1 more day to do this because at the beginning of the year, I really feel like we need to spread things out a little bit and take a little bit of extra time to just get back into the swing of everything. Plus, I want this to be your best thoughts. And today you're probably going, oh, pet rock narrative. Oh, I've got so many ideas. What do I do? Well, first I'm going to figure out kind of what's going to happen in my story and maybe what I'm going to name my pet rock. And I think I want my pet rock to be a girl. So I think I'm going to name her Lulu. So I'm just going to jot down Lulu in this box. This is going to be Lulu. I like Lulu. And my cat's name is Charlie. So I'm thinking I think I'm going to have Lulu meet Charlie the cat. Somewhere in my story. Probably in the middle. Usually that's kind of where a problem happens. And if she's meeting a cat, maybe the cat wants to eat her. Although I hope my cat doesn't eat rocks. But it's a story, so maybe he does. I don't know. So I've got Charlie the cat. And where is it going to take place? She's a rock. Where would I find my rocks? A forest. Maybe in a forest. Maybe a backyard. Maybe the forest behind your house. Oh. Maybe your neighborhood. Lots of places you could find one. And let's see, the beginning of my story, I think maybe Lulu just wants to go walking, go rolling because she's a rock. I like this. Okay. Lulu's going to go rolling. See, I'm just jotting down some ideas, thinking about it right now. When I come back to it tomorrow, I'm going to actually be able to put more ideas in after I've had some more time to think about it. She's going to meet Charlie the cat. I think Charlie's going to try to eat her. I'm not sure how it's going to end. I'm not sure how that problem is going to get solved. Or kind of how I'm going to wrap it up yet. I'm thinking. Lots of thoughts in my head right now. Maybe they're going to have a talk. We do get to start using dialogue this year where characters actually talk. And we use the little quotes. We call them bunny ears. But don't worry. I'll help you with that. I think maybe a talk. I'm going to put a question mark. That's all I've got in my brain today. My brain's a little fried, so I'm just going to not worry about it. I'm going to come back to this tomorrow and finish filling it out. Maybe I'll get some ideas tonight as I'm trying to fall asleep. Now, the last part you get to do today is you get to go find a pet rock. Somewhere in your yard, wherever that you are, that you can find a little pet rock. This is mine. I'll show you Lulu today because I already found her, you guys. Are you ready? Okay. That's Lulu. I drew her little face. She's smiling. She got eyelashes. She got really red curly hair. I just drew on her with markers. Just remember, if you choose to draw on them with markers, your markers may get a little bit dirty and it will also wash off because your markers are washable. So just so you know, that may happen. If you really want to share the pet rock that you found with your teacher, feel free to take a picture, either using your Chromebook or your family can help you out, the grown-ups at your house, and you can send it to your teacher on their email and share it with them so that they can see, or a Google Doc, wherever you want to put it. So you should have this. Now, before I go, one of your folders in your supply bin should be for finished work. The other one is for things that you're working on right now, which is going to be a lot of the writing. It takes us sometimes weeks to finish a writing piece, and we need a place to store all of our paper. So one of these folders are going to be for your work that you're working on. So I'm going to take my paper, and I am not going to lose it. I'm going to put it in my folder because, trust me, you'd be surprised how easy papers go missing. I lose mine sometimes if I don't put them where they belong. And now I can put this back in my supply bin and it's safe until tomorrow. And then your last job is to go find a little pet rock. And if you'd like to draw on it, you can. And you can also share the picture with your teacher. All right, guys, have fun. I'm excited to keep working on this. See you tomorrow.